So as part of this, we have this whole college advising part of the business, and we also have pro advising. We help you pick advisors. We help you connect with the right people. We do workshops. But this whole thing is giving you a platform where it puts communication in your hands. So it's one thing to make you a great athlete or very durable. It's another to how do we get the player in front of these college coaches? And you see the reach. I'm bringing in colleges that we already work with and support, and then layering in divisions, different division, NAIA schools, things that you need to learn from that most platforms they can't achieve it because you'll never understand a coach. You'll never listen to them, but they're already in our network. So this kind of thing is what, this up level program brings to the table. But, for example, I have a lot of players that are super smart and they're playing at Ivy League schools. So we target a lot of Ivy League showcases and things like that. So, it might be like I want a Division I program. I'm going to see, I want Ivy Leagues. I went to an Ivy League school myself for my postdoc. I maybe don't select schools. I want them all, and then for here, I have a list of these schools, and I have one guy right now, freshman. He's a starting shortstop at Princeton, and he's also their third starter. Okay, should have been Ohio Player of the Year. But I'm saying you take a look at this and it's telling you what they have, what roster spots may open up. You guys are competing with transfer portal guys that I have on this, but you have to get to it early, get information. And then, basically what you do there is you're communicating with all the coaches. And you can use existing templates. It could be a first time intro. There's things to add, links. It will help you design an actual communication. Just hang with me. So some of you guys, you're like, wow, I don't know what I need to write to a college program. This thing will give you AI generated communications. You can do pretty heavy personalization, personalize with AI. There's a lot of things here that's on top of this. And when you do the profiling, like it'll ask you for information, links, all that kind of thing so that it will know you and it will also help you guys in your communication. It'll pull things for you. And then, each of these emails, you can preview them. Do I like them? Our college advisors, they're going to be doing workshops when school's out. I know there's a lot that you guys have to handle, but we do workshops on certain things. Again, I want you guys to come listen to Colt, he's the head coach at Crown College, see what a small school thinks and says, and you're starting to build your own process of like, oh man, he said not to say this. He said in my subject line, I need to make sure that this is improved. There's all sorts of things, that you're going to get, and it will generate emails for you. Okay. Now, the one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hit send because all of them are going to get them from me as an athlete. But there's all sorts of opportunities for you from a communication lens so that we get our opportunities involved with athletes. And these are real coaches, man. I know Coach Schwartz and I know John Yurkow. These guys are at Penn. They've been there for a long time. But what it does is it will help you stay in the loop. And if, you might say, well, I'm 14. I don't know if I need this at 14. I think it's important that you're at least making communications. And I think it's important that you're asking for camp information and you're getting your name out there. Okay. You should have the ultimate head start on everything that at least I didn't have. I kind of had to take what I got, and it's not that world anymore. And you want to play. You might think about this, and as part of our workshops, it's like, do I go D1, D2, D3? Can I handle redshirting? Team Canada player went to a Division I school. I thought he was phenomenal. The ArmCare stuff needed to be fixed. He had an arm problem. And that poor player, man, he had to leave. He never saw the field because he couldn't handle redshirting. I couldn't handle redshirting. I should have started in D2 and then layered up to a D1. Instead, I went D1 to D2, and I had a phenomenal college last 2 years of my college career. And I want you guys to make good decisions. There's a dashboard like anything that you can see how many emails you sent, who's opened them, your responses. This thing like captures everything. And the company that we work with, they've been amazing because nobody's partnered with them, but we have because we want to put everything together, and it's exactly what your coach said is keeping communication very strong, and the key players, are this athleticism, this durability piece, and now this opportunity, to come together. You guys have the technical skill coaching. I know it. I know this is kind of the hidden, these are the hidden pieces to round out what you guys need. And, the biggest thing, your program is awesome in the sense that, yes, they care about winning, but there's a part of your coaches that also care about the jerseys on the rafters. They want good players to come out of the program. They want you guys to be your best. They want to market you. They want you guys to have your opportunities. And, we're going to do everything we can to get you way past the 70-yard line. We can build anything. For the upgraded plan, we'll put other things in there, but we definitely want to have something that fits with your current program, to protect you from the durability lens. There's some athleticism based stuff and skill based stuff, that kind of, I see opportunities there when I saw you guys. But there's all sorts of things, that we have. And then on an athlete level, we have different formats of training that our people can go in and they can go and make adjustments for you. So for example, our one player who I met, and I can't remember the name, but like for example, we have him doing a banded rear foot elevated split squat. Well, we don't want him to have more positive push work. We might do something and say, let's get this guy on more of an RDL pattern. Let's just say just based on what may have happened to the hamstring, right? And there's so many options that you'll never be bored. Your body's going to have to learn, and that's really, that's the beauty of what we have. Going to the ArmCare data, you guys seeing the ArmCare platform for you guys? We're hitting 100% of your body weight in strength. So this score of 101 means that whatever you weigh on average, your arm strength is hitting that. Capacity level is going to give your coaches more opportunities. And we had a conversation today, maybe it was today or yesterday, about the changing in the individualized pitch counts based on changes in capacity. We look at this in a little bit deeper detail, but even on the platform, you can see things that we need to pay attention to for some of you guys. But the one thing that's beautiful, we don't have strength issues. A lot of guys don't. If I went through the data, there's some of you guys that could be pulled up a little bit, but we go from there into the programming so that we can fix it. We have a lot of this you can't see. So a lot of this I keep unlisted, but we have so many different resources. I mentioned there's so many different training videos. I mean, there's all sorts of things where I have players that are really low, maybe a guy with low ER and a guy that really doesn't have great lower core strength, and we're blending things all the time. As a scout in Major League Baseball, as part of my role was to analyze players' performance so that we wouldn't miss on a player that had some good athletic properties, or one, he may have injury risk or he may have high performance reductions, and so we want to fix those things. It's not all just strength too. I'm just pulling some examples. There's certain things that we do with players that have mobility issues, and so there's stuff inside of this that I really want to help you guys with. Now, that's just on the athletic performance and durability side, right? And the monitoring and team integration.